Pandora's box. I mentioned that in the last blog. Kids are getting their sex education from Pandora's box or the internet. Maybe 6, 7 years old. To those parents who don't make it impossible for to do that. I believe that's probably one of the reasons that kids at a younger age are sexually abusing babies, or at knife point even kids older than them. From priests, school teachers, and even parents, the sexual predator takes on many forms. The very professionals that for the decades the American people have been able to place their trust in to teach, guide, and protect their children now have become the very variable truth that there's no one we can trust, that authority is abused, and nobody from any walk of society is exempt from entering into this type of debauchery and sin. And remember, lots of kids are not going to blow the whistle for fear that their family's going to get killed, or, it's their fault, stuff like that. We need to relieve kids of ever having that kind of a guilt trip put on them before it actually happens. I was, maybe 12 years old, maybe 11, and I came home from school, and I was crying, and my mom asked me what it was, and I says, well, the kids at school said you and Dad fucked, and that's how I got born. And my mom said, well, that's kind of what happened, only we don't call it by that terrible word. She sat down and taught me my sex education lesson. It only took one time, because your mom's talking about it like, I'm getting the visual, too much information. But the bottom line is, when she was done, I understood. And I made it all the way through high school, being a virgin. That's another story for another time. But I was thankful to God that He placed His hand on me. Sexually transmitted diseases just keep recreating themselves. Some of the very first one was treatable, syphilis and gonorrhea. Then along came herpes, and then AIDS, and you know what's going to come on next. Diseases that are untreatable, diseases that man doesn't know what to do about it. The devil's chemistry lab, it's never closed. He's always baking up new ideas and new diseases and new ways to destroy the youth of America, and he won't be happy or content until all our youth are laying down at his feet, all deflowered, already gotten bored with all the intense, extreme things they've gone through in their life, bored enough to commit suicide. Then the devil will be happy. He doesn't want there to be a generation of strong Christian youth that are going to take us on in through the last hours and minutes before the great and terrible day of the Lord. He wants to destroy this generation. He's already destroyed the last couple, and this generation, maybe the next to come, until the only ones that will have any guts to speak about God or have any experience will be us old guys like me. Man, I ask you, I beseech you, in the name of the Lord, get a hold of your kids now, raise them up in the way God wants them raised, and educate them at any cost. There is so much more that I could say, but if you want to go to my blog site, I am putting my book on there. It's free for you to download if you want. And if some of you want to order book in demand, shortly this book will be edited and will be for sale if you want to have the book at your house. But again, just remind you, you don't have to pay for it. If you want to just download things off the internet, that's cool. Now, I know there are other people who are doing what I'm doing, who are discussing these. I just haven't run into them yet, but I kind of feel like a voice crying in the wilderness. Like nobody can hear me. I'm blowing the whistle. I'm blowing a whistle and I'm at an explosion. Help, help. And fire department can't hear that little whistle in the midst of an explosion. I want to encourage all you people out there that are saying the same things that I'm saying. Let's support each other. If you come across my blog, drop me a note. I come across yours, I'll drop you a note. We need to band together. Who knows what God could put together? I don't believe in reinventing the wheel. You know, Jesus is the wheel, we're the spokes. And if I can begin to see spokes here and there and stuff like that, we just need to know who we are so we can strengthen that thing. And who knows, maybe as one powerful voice for God magnified, people will receive the message. And young person, I know Christian kids, preachers' kids are just as notorious for sexual experimentation and or intercourse as any other kid. And I know that the temptations are more powerful to Christian kids than worldly kids, because worldly kids are going to find it anyway. But Christian kids, he's got that boyfriend, and that boyfriend is pressuring you. If you love me, you'll let me. Don't listen to that. It's bullshit. Don't listen to it. Don't receive it. And if you've got somebody like that for a boyfriend or girlfriend, you need to see right now that they're barking up the wrong tree. You need to see how the devil is using them to destroy not only your virginity, but precious areas of your mind that haven't received some of these dark things that I've had to mention in these blogs. Your life's important. Your stand is important. And I know you don't want to have a baby out of wedlock. I know you don't want to have an incurable sexually transmitted disease. And I know that kids in church world, they're doing everything right and left. Be an individual. Stand up. Don't follow the crowd. Be a part of the remnant of young people whose futures and lives are married to Jesus and his goals until you find the one that you love that you're going to settle down with. I consider there to be not a whole lot difference between masturbation and intercourse by just giving this idea here. I'm starving to death, man. I haven't eaten all day. I can go and drop $50 at the Outback Steakhouse, or I can go through Chinese drive-in up here, spend $15. Either way, once I've spent the money, I'm full. It had the same effect. I'm not telling you to go out there and spend your money, but what I'm saying is when you're full, you're full. You can do something radical or you can keep it in line and be full. Be full of the Lord, be full of his word, and be full of his love. Okay, I think I just ran out of steam. Love you, mean it. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you again real soon. Bye-bye.